Hello, I'm Jay. Welcome to Dan Files. On Basan Island off the coast of Tokyo, it has been a remote place of exile since ancient times. The 11th of August 1994, there was a strange incident on the island has attracted the attention of all the Japanese media. That's for sure. As soon as people all over Japan meet, all discuss the matter in a mood of panic and curiosity. What happened on this day? This is the mystery of the 7 bones of Hachijo in Japan. In 1994-11, the 9th of August 4, Hachijo Japan. This day coincides with the day before Ghost Festival in Japan. It was also the day when Okada officially passed the judgery assessment and joined the job. It is completely different from the excitement of ordinary newcomers. I'm not interested in this job at all at present. It's not just him. I'm sure all of you here won't be interested in this job. He works as an incinerator operator at a funeral home. No matter how conflicting it is in my heart. Okada also needs to cheer up in front of veteran employee Martishima. Go to work with a smile on your face. In order to prepare for the scheduled funeral that day, Mapinger asked Okada to inspect the stove in advance in accordance with regulations. The stove operated by Okada is at the end of the corridor. It's through 9个都是谚语. The rule requires you to open one door at a time, and then you can't open another door until it's unlocked. Okada did not know what he was guarding against. But every time I walk to this plate, he feels that the atmosphere here is very depressing. This feeling is particularly obvious today. This empty space seems to be very crowded. Here is no time to think about it. He opened the furnace, prepare for inspection, pull out the trailer, and then at the moment of opening the furnace door, he froze. Instantly, understand why there is such a crowded ceiling. The narrow furnace that could only accommodate one person was filled with human bones. Okada was stunned for half a minute. Did someone forget to clean the furnace? He got the operation records right away, but something weird is coming. The last operation was on the night of the 6th of August. I remember that day very clearly. At that time, he cleaned the furnace with his Makishima Sr. And from the 6th of August to 11th, no record of operation at all. He realized that something was wrong. So I told Makisubima about it. Makima called the police without hesitation. The local police soon arrived at the scene. After the investigation, the medical examiner found there are 7 human bodies here. The difference between men and women, both old people and children, in terms of age and sex, is like a family of 7. And what's more bizarre is not only this. After further examination, these 7 bones have all lived for more than 10 years. That is to say, these 7 people did not die recently, but more than a decade ago. According to this, the police suspect that it was caused by someone for some unknown reason. The burial ceremony was carried out in secret because there is a tradition of burial in the Basan Pavilion. People will reopen the graves of some relatives who were buried in the past, change to cremation, and under normal circumstances, when using this cremator for cremation, must be followed by local cemetery, burial, and other relevant laws to apply for and get the mayor. Permission of the director and the head of the village before legal cremation can be carried out. But the staff found out there is no application or approval this time. Appears to be unauthorized cremation. In fact, the day they discovered the bones of these fans, it is true that other burial ceremonies will be held. For this clue, police investigated 64 cemeteries on the island. As long as we find the excavated cemetery, we can identify the body. However, when the police investigated carefully after the management records of all the local cemeteries, it was found that there were no signs of lice. The police panicked now. How was this possible? So the police sent more police, personally put the local graveyard and all the private land, did a blanket investigation. Still didn't find any suspicious signs. Hachijo is not dead. This is an island in the islands of Japan. The 19th of June, the population is only 7,156 in such a small town. Such a strange thing happened. Naturally, the police attach great importance to it. Are these 7 human bones a victim of a crime in the past? At that time, the assailant hid his relatives. The case contained the perfect crime. The case was not solved. And recently, for some reason, the killer put 7 bones in the crematorium. However, after the investigation by the police, Hachijo has been in the past 14 years. There is no similar case of 7 deaths. There was no incident in which 7 people disappeared at the same time. This possibility has been ruled out. That could someone have brought these bones from outside the island? This assumption was quickly denied by the local police. Hachijo is located 287 kilometers south of Tokyo, on the sea surface of 75 kilometers to the southeast of Imperial Tibetan Island. Tourists Hachijo aboard on the island come to the island from Hachijo town, or by plane, or by ship. But to transport so many bones, it is impossible not to alarm the management of the wharves. It is impossible to pass the security check at the airport. The unsolvable problem doesn't stop there. When these bones were found, the crematorium is locked up. That is to say, Incinerator Operation Room. It itself is a secret room with 2 iron doors and 6 people hold the key that can open the iron door. 2 operators must be present at the same time for each operation of the incinerator. Meanwhile, according to the data provided by the crematorium, the incinerator was used normally for the last time. It was 5 days before the discovery of human bones. That's the 6th of August. The 7 human bones were found on the 11th of August, so the police speculated that someone used the incinerator without permission during these 4 days, disposed of the 7 human bones. However, after careful investigation, it was found that on the day of the 11th of August incident, the incinerator is completely cooled. If it is used on the 10th of August, the furnace will not cool completely, so we can draw a final inference, rolled out the 10th of August. The suspect was in the 3 days from the 7th of August to the 9th of August. Unauthorized use of the incinerator, except for the operator, and who will hold the key to the iron door. So the police focused their attention on the 6 operators. The police immediately began to question the 6 people separately. The youngest Steele was the first to be ruled out. Then there are 4 other operators. They all have alibis when the police questioned Sojima. The atmosphere is starting to get weird. After regular cross-examination, Matsujima's suspicion was quickly ruled out. When the police were at their wits' end, Matsujima offered to speak. Do you know the legend of the intertidal forest road in Teliji Township? The air quieted down at once. A long time later, an old policeman said, Are you talking about those 7 workers? Matsujima answered, That's right what they said. This is a tragedy that happened in the local area more than 40 years ago. There's a newspaper called the South China Sea Times in Bisayang Island. A report was published on the 23rd of November, 1952. At that time, there were 8 engineers who were building roads on the island. They talked as they walked. When passing by the intertidal forest road, suddenly encountered mudslides. 7 people died in the accident. Among them, the supervisor of the team was killed in the accident. It is said that a large amount of mudslides married them, except that the eldest brother with a head injury was rescued and died. The search and rescue team did not dig up the other 7 people. After that, military dogs and engineering facilities were used, rummaged all over like the scene of the accident. Still got nothing. Does Matsujima think that 40 years after the incident, 7 human bones appeared in the crematorium? Is it likely to belong to the 7 bereaved workers that year? The police do not agree with this bizarre statement. If that's true, how did these 7 human bones appear in the incinerator? If someone accidentally dug up a person who's buried alive 40 years ago, why don't you just report it? Instead, they had to be secretly transported to the crematorium. The police investigation has made no progress. The residents of the island began to guess the nature of the incident from many angles. The Valley of 7 incident is gradually moving towards a mysterious and blurred direction. Based on the fact that the incident occurred 1 day before the Owaman festival in Japan, local residents call the incident a mystery before ghost festival. There are all kinds of rumors in the area. Some people say it's a mysterious crime. Some people say it's a ghost. After an in-depth police investigation and found a strange thing. Except for the 1994 7 Owls incident, the second-person incident in He Called Lin Road, an older legend once appeared on Hachijo. This is the horror legend of the 7-person homeowner on Basay Island. According to the folklore scholar Dajian Mountain's Basang Island folklore and social records, the first year of Naud, that is, 1711, there was a shipwreck. The lucky sailor was drifting to Hachijo Island, got help from the local villagers, but one of the sailors got smallpox. This caused a massive infection on the island. Until the following autumn, more than 990 people died in the disaster. From now on, some villages on the island are very hateful to the islanders and set up fences to prevent outsiders from entering. Shortly after that, 7 monks set off by boat from Osaka unfortunately ran into a storm in the course of going out to sea. They drifted to the coast of Hakunuma. The monks saw villagers living on the island, eyeing full of hope to get help from the villagers, get some food and can even give them a place to live temporarily. But it backfired. Instead of getting help from the villagers and the monks, the villagers also drove them to a mountain on the island. There they barely feed their hunger on the fruit of the trees. But because of being on the run all the time, the 7 eventually disappeared one by one on the mountain. From then on, ominous things happened one after another in the village. First of all, near the night, some villagers saw it. The forest goddess, dressed in white, walked around the village. The second is the loss of crops in the village, and livestock also died one after another. The Sebalace part is, it is said that some villagers died strangely near the place where the monk disappeared. The villagers think this is definitely the curse left by the 7 monks. So it's not intestinal fear. In order to calm down, the villagers hoped to find the body of the monk. Unfortunately, they didn't find it. After that, the villagers are on the top of the mountain where they died. 7 tombstones were built. After that, the disaster in the village gradually subsided, and it is said that the place where 7 tombstones are erected, it's the hillside next to the Choidian Forest Road. So far, apart from hearing a bunch of legends that are difficult to check the police, nothing else has been gained. This gradually became a bloody case. Is it a criminal who committed the crime secretly, or the curse of 7 monks, or an operator who fooled the police? What on earth is the truth? Maybe we'll never know the answer.